because of Surah Al-Ma'un, right? That's religious to me, my opinion. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين. What is لا يحض على طعام المسكين? What does that mean? That person is taking a passive attitude, not necessarily hurting the miskin. لا يحض means like he does not advocate for feeding the miskin. If someone's policies, whether it's an individual or a party, condones crushing the underprivileged, that's religious for me. I will never vote for them. Okay? Now, maybe the other person has the worst policies in some other issues that are dear to me. Anti-Palestine. That hurts really badly, right? Blindly pro-Israel. Or some, position on moral issues. Yes, these are all hurtful things. And I'll be trying to, push my arm forward to actually press the button. But that is not as the one that hits straight text in the Quran. That to me, this is what I've come to after all thinking about it for all these years, maybe thinking in a wrong way, but this is when it comes religious for me. What was the question?
How do we voice our opinion while being politically correct?
We have to, we can be the most politically correct as politically correct as we can, but the other side will not listen even. And that should not be our objective. Because right now, the extreme left is completely unaccepting of any disagreement. When you tell them, I am all for your rights, but I disagree with your way of life or your style of living, they cancel you. They will not talk to you. So I don't care about those people. I'm looking for the people who can still reason, who would still understand that I want to raise my kids and grandkids understanding that Allah's way of creating a human being is that there's a male and a female, and then there is the certain way to fulfill the sexual desire that is halal, and there are all other ways are haram. And I want to raise them to know that Allah is the creator and all this, like the Islamic values. While I have accepted, underline, I have accepted to live under this constitution, which allows for people to call for whichever lifestyles and whatever, ideas that they think is good for them or for society. And I have to defend their rights. Like I said, at the end of the lecture, I have to defend the rights of the person who disagrees with me 180 degrees as vehemently as I defend my own rights. Because otherwise, I'll be a hypocrite. So, Allahu Alam. So we have to articulate, and we have to articulate both arguments in parallel. We're all for rights under the Constitution, but here's how we would like to raise our kids. Oh, there's another.
Yeah. If I can add, Shway.
Yeah, of course.
I think homegrown scholarship is the key to that.
Sorry?
Homegrown scholarship, meaning that you have people who were born and raised here, who are well versed in the language, who understand the culture, and understand the tradition. If they understand the Islamic tradition, and if they understand the culture, it gives them a full tasawwur, it gives them a full picture of how to address many of these issues in a lens that is appropriate. I used to think that pushing candidates to run was part of the solution. The problem is that many of the candidates who do run, they just run on party lines with the Muslim label. And it hasn't been particularly successful. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but this has just been my view. I think the third way that is far more effective that we haven't utilized is lobbying. With lobbying, you can be as principled as you want. Because
right.
in a
doesn't mean you stop pushing Muslim
No, 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 of
candidates,
course
right?
not. Of course, yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, no, no, I'm saying like we
yeah.
utilize whatever avenues that we have available to us. But I think lobbying is one that we haven't explored appropriately or properly. I've sat down with people who actually write some of these proposals for these different lobbying firms, because they're the ones who actually push the bills and the laws and things through. And these guys are very stern. Like their language is very clear in where they stand and what it is that they want to do and what they're pushing for. And it's not like we don't have money. Like Muslims have a lot of money, mashallah. So, and Allah knows best.
You know, I really wish that we had the means to support all the masakin in the United States, Muslims or non-Muslims, right? But that's not the case. And we're not talking just about food. We're talking about housing. We're talking about healthcare. We're talking about a system that is inherently anti-miskin, you know? Public schools funded by property tax. And therefore, you have when the houses are $1 million plus, you have the best schools. And when the houses are run down and you know, very have low value, then you have very poor schools. So it's a vicious cycle. So that's why, I mean, I would be for someone who says we need to do something about the miskin, first and foremost, to be honest. I mean, this is what, like I said, the other issues are very painful. But this is the one that hits a text in the Quran, and this is what Allah is going to ask me. Are you one of this Kazdabu Bid-Din people? Are you one of who denied the religion because you voted for somebody who would oppress further the oppressed? I can't take that. Allah.
You guys can start taking food. I'm sorry. please feel free. And you can.
By you guys, you mean
ask
sisters?
Questions. Huh? No, well, there are two sides, so you know, whatever. All right. I guess the classical sister side, they can. they can start taking food, and then the. Should I say the revolutionary sisters? can start taking food on this side. Yeah. But yeah, no, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. I do appreciate your viewpoint. I think it's also important for us to understand is that yes, we stand against oppression, but there are many times it's like, okay, what is the method of dealing with it?
Yeah. And we can only do what we have in our hand.
Yeah. I don't mean by that like that. I understand what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah. So like in terms of voting, if you have some people will be like, okay, well, no, I'm going to vote for the person who expands welfare and expands affordable housing. Right? So for someone else, they'd be like, no, I think expanding welfare and expanding affordable housing actually makes the situation worse.
They have to show data for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of data.
Yeah, I mean, come on, yeah. And then you do your own assessment.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think.
Yeah, but how can not giving people food stamps help them do better?
Because it encourages them to work, and this has been shown.
Then it's
been shown time and again.
But this is like the assumption that people are poor because they're lazy.
No, that's not the assumption. So I was on welfare, and I can tell you the system very well. It actually encourages you to stay on the system.
I know, but then that system has to be fixed. Because you can miss the cutoff by $1.
Yeah.
And then you're on your own.
Yeah.
I know. No, I understand all that.
Yeah.
But still, subhanAllah, I just can't meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with
too much of a burden.
Thanks, Sam.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And if you guys have any questions while you're eating, أهلا وسهلا. تفضل يا سيد. Yeah.
So I don't know what's the issue here about what are you gathering for today? I know
Oh,
there's a-
it was a Sirah conference. It was a Sirah conference, and it was talking about prophetic politics, the Prophet ﷺ as a statesman, and we talked about different avenues of what is the state, how to engage, what the different capacities that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam served in, some of the decision making process that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam made in when it came to dealing as a state. Yeah, so that was the whole. It was good, alhamdulillah. It was good, alhamdulillah.
Let me ask you,
تفضل.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا.
Mhm.
Are the group, the same sex, aren't they ظلموا أنفسهم?
Yeah, so الظلم is anything that is disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. صح ولا لا?
وَلَا تَرْكَنوا. يعني
Yeah.
keep
Keep a distance. أكيد. So, but even distance, what does that mean? Does that mean that I can't develop political alliances? Even he sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he made alliances with the mushrikeen, right, with the pagans. Shirk is like akbar dhanb and Allah azza wa jal. So if he sallallahu alayhi wasallam can make a relationship even with the presence of that, فما بال دونه.